Welcome to DocTalk Dental, where dental industry marketing specialist Lisa Muller sits down with doctors, innovators, and thought leaders to share their stories, strategies, and insights. And now, here's Lisa.
Hi everyone, it's Lisa Muller with MedMark Media and Implant Practice, US Magazine. Welcome to another edition of DocTalk Dental. Today we're going to dive into how ThreeShape Trios can benefit your practice from increasing case acceptance to simplifying workflow. To talk more on this, we're very excited to welcome Dr. Franklin Shull. He has a very long list of accomplishments, so let's get into them. Dr. Shull is a native of Lexington, South Carolina, and is a graduate of the University of South Carolina and the Medical University of South Carolina School of Dentistry. Following dental school, he completed a general practice residency at Palmetto Health, Richland. Dr. Shull is both the past president of the Greater Columbia Dental Association and the South Carolina Academy of General Dentistry. He is a fellow of the Academy of General Dentistry and is a faculty member at Palmetto Health, Richland, Department of Dentistry, and the Medical College of Georgia School of Dentistry. Dr. Shull is also on the teaching facility at the L.D. Pankey Institute in Key Biscayne, Florida, where he teaches dentists from all around the world about aesthetic dentistry. He has been published in many dental journals and recently contributed to a textbook on comprehensive dentistry. And Dr. Shull lectures throughout the U.S. on aesthetics, dental materials, and photography. He lives in Lexington with his wife, son, and daughter, and enjoys spending time on the water with his family. Phew! Dr. Shull, welcome to DocTalk Dental. I think that was the longest bio I've ever had. Kudos to you.
Thanks, Lisa. You did great.
So nice to have you with us today.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be here.
How's everything in your neck of the woods with all this COVID stuff?
It's about like what you would expect. We're all kind of getting through it. It's had some impacts on the practice, which I think everyone could understand, but not all bad. I think we've made the best of it. So yeah, here we are trying to get through it.
Yeah. So we're here today to talk about the ThreeShape Trios and how it's so instrumental in your practice. Can you tell us how long you've been using the Trios and how has it impacted your practice?
Sure. So, and when you and I were talking about this, it surprised me to think back. I've been using the Trios now for over 7 years. So 2013 was when I first purchased my first Trios.
Wow. It's been a while.
It has been. Yeah.
Yeah. So what is it? I mean, how has it impacted your patients' lives, and tell us the autonomy that's been created with it?
Sure. So, like any new piece of equipment, you're a little bit hesitant at first. So I'll be very honest, I didn't use it to its fullest when I first purchased it. I was worried about it not doing as good a job as I wanted to. So I was a little hesitant at first. So I would say the first 6 months, I was convincing myself that it was as good as what I was doing before. But then it's quickly became a part of my everyday routine. There's not a day that I don't use the Trios. It's become a bigger and bigger part of everything I do every day.
It's so cool also for the patient perspective. I've had it used on me many times at my dentist, and just to see, the scanning and what's going on and all of that while you're there being treated, it's just a more interactive experience, I think, with the patient, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know of any, even when I use it, I'm still kind of wild, and I use it all the time. And just from the color and the speed, and now we know the accuracy, but I mean, it impresses me every time I use it. So as a patient, they love the comfort of it, of course, without the gooey impression material, but it's just it's the technology that really is impressive.
It really is. It's amazing. What was the learning curve like for your team to use this?
Learning curve is very quick and simple. Any of the staff can use it. We can teach anyone within minutes how to use the Trios, and especially now with the wireless option. The heads are very small in the scanner. The scan path is very easy, and even if you don't follow the scan path, the computer still is smarter than we are and makes it work. So I'll say that it's probably the easiest thing that any of our um, assistants or other dentists can pick up on.
So you're basically an aesthetic practice, yes?
I'm a general practice. We do a lot of comprehensive cases, a lot of large cases, and we do a lot of aesthetics. We do facial aesthetics along with dental aesthetics. So um, that's sort of what we've been doing for the past about 15 years. Yeah.
So speak to the various specialties that the Trios is used within. I mean, as far as aesthetic, and now I know they're using it for sleep, and I mean, there's other
Right.
aspects as well, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the cool part is because there's so many. I work really closely with my periodontist, and he loves it because we can scan for surgical guides, we can scan for soft tissue guides, and we can do planning for our implants, which we now once you do it that way, it's really hard to go back. And we have a CBCT in the office that you can overlay your 3Shape scans to, and so now implant planning is at a whole nother level. And of course, there are the module for orthodontics that many of my orthodontic colleagues use, and it's a really nice workflow for ortho. There's a splint module for dentists that do a lot of splint therapy.
Uh-huh.
There's really smile designer, so you can design if you're not used to doing a lot of aesthetic dentistry. This is almost a walkthrough program that can allow you to very quickly create a rendering of what you can do for your patient. It's really a neat module. So there's so many different things, and that's part of the beauty of the 3Shape is that it's
Yeah.
not just a scanner. You can buy a scanner these days and just a standalone plug-in scanner. And I think a lot of people are, they want something inexpensive and plug and play, and it will do that. But you're really missing out on all the other things that the 3Shape can do.
Hmm. So compared to other scanners out there, without naming names, what's different about this one? I mean, I know the technology is amazing.
Right. So, I mean, yeah, and I've used um, most of the other scanners on the market, and wow, we've come such a long ways. I mean, there are some really nice scanners out there, and like I said, if you're looking at very low cost, there are some scanners that are low cost, um, but you're going to basically only scan for maybe crown and bridge. With 3Shape, because of um, the apps that are available, and you don't have to purchase them if you're not going to use them, but you can add on the apps that just take it to a different level. And simple things that other systems don't allow, like overlaying scans. You can overlay, say, I'll scan your mouth today, and then a year later, I rescan. And I can overlay those scans to see if there's been any change. And I can
Hmm.
if you've had wear on your teeth. I can see if your teeth have moved. I can see if you have notching, all the things that I could probably tell you have, but the computer now can say, "Hey, Lisa, your teeth are changing," and
Right.
you as a patient now can see it. So just so many little things that come with this system that just change how you practice.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically the adage, you get what you pay for, right? I mean,
It is, and no, it's not the most expensive system on the market. And they do have their entry level scanners, and then if you want to, upgrade as you go, and that's what I tell everyone is, listen, if you're looking for low cost, there are low cost options with 3Shape, and then you still have the ability to add on as you go.
right. So you have two configurations, the Trios 3 Pod and the Trios 3 Move. What made you choose having two configurations, and how to use each of them in your practice?
Yeah, so the pod is what a lot of people like because it's laptop driven. So you basically have the scanner that is attached to a gaming style laptop, and you can move that around. I put mine on a cart. I had a little cart built. I had the need for uh, to get my 3Shape into some narrow spaces, and the Move is basically a tablet that's connected to your scanner on a pole system, almost like an IV pole with wheels. So I can get it into any little nook and cranny, and it just becomes very versatile. So any of the systems are fine. I like both of the ones I have. If I had to buy again, I'm not sure which one I'd buy because they both have their.
Because they're
But
both so good.
yeah, they both are
How,
really good. Yeah.
how many operatories do you have?
Um, I have one other doctor that practices with me, and so we have 7 total operatories.
Okay. So you've got 2 scanners that you're kind of moving around from room to room, or?
Right. So each doctor, and we don't have our own scanner. We'll pick either one because they're basically the same. And you can set it
Right.
up that you can see all of your scans on both scanners. You can create a client server where um, you it's not like you can only see certain scans on one of the computers. So they make it quite easy.
How is their customer service if one of the scanners goes down? They're probably like right on it.
They really are good, and their partnerships with some of the vendors like Patterson and Henry Schein has really taken that to another level because those companies have digital specialists that are experts. You can also call 3Shape Direct, but most people will go through their Patterson or Henry Schein rep and have great customer service that way too. So a lot more options. When I first started with 3Shape, you had to go through 3Shape, and that was fine too. But now that we have so many more vendors, it makes it
Hmm.
pretty seamless.
Right. So tell us about the 3Shape has a very trusted connection with mills and printers. What does that mean for your workflow?
Yeah, so trusted connection is a word that you hear in the industry now, and what that basically means is that um, there's been R&D on the connection between your scanner and a mill, and you can connect many scanners to many mills. That doesn't mean that anyone's really tested that out and made sure the tolerances are appropriate. Um, 3Shape does a really good job with that, and they have selected the top mills on the market to be part of their team. So it does make it easy. I've had multiple mills in the office,
Hmm.
and connecting the mills is very straightforward.
Is there one that works better than the other with this system, or?
Well, recently, Avoclar Vivident and 3Shape partnered on a scanning milling connection that pairs the Avoclar's PM1, the Programmill 1, with
Hmm.
3Shape scanners. So I have the Programmill 1, and it's a phenomenal mill. It's very small. It's wireless. It is tablet driven. Um, it's a 5-axis mill. Um, it contains its own water supply and its own compressors. So the only thing you really need to do is plug it into the wall. Um, Very accurate, probably one of the most accurate mills ever built, and it's pretty phenomenal. So this connection to me with the 3Shape is sort of the ideal pairing. Both companies are phenomenal. They both are about excellence and doing the best they can. And I feel
Hmm.
like they've created this. It's not only a nice workflow, but it sort of exudes excellence. You can tell by the way it's built and the product that it produces that it's built around very high-end dentistry.
Right. So how do you suppose dentistry was even around before all of this technology?
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
kind of
back
old.
in the old days.
Yeah, I'm kind of old. So I've been doing this for about 25 years. So,
Yeah,
um, slinging impression material and, we did everything. But and I guess that's something to let the younger people know. This is a culmination of taking old school and just making it digital. So we could do it all before, but it took so much more effort and you really didn't have ways of backing out of things with the digital workflow. My laboratory and I, we can fix almost every problem virtually instead of having to bring a patient back and take temporaries off and make new impressions. So it's just made life easier.
right. It's amazing for the
Yeah,
patient as well. I mean, yeah,
well, it
I,
makes
I'm
it fun
I'm
again.
old also, and I remember what that was like back in the day. But yeah, it's just incredible with this. And I think technology, we're in the next 10 years, what we're going to see in dentistry is going to blow our minds with, what's going to be coming out as well.
So I'm ready for it.
I know, right? So, what about Three Shapes open ecosystem? How does that give you more options in technologies, materials, and services?
Yeah, so the term open has been used ever since digital platforms opened, and open basically means that any lab can use ThreeShape. They have to, of course, be able to accept the files, which most can, but um, their open architecture does allow me to send to basically anyone I want, and anyone can open the file and work with the files. So just allowing more people to be involved, and if you ask, I would say almost any lab technician, their preferred platform to design their restoration zone is ThreeShape. If
Mhm.
not, if it's not their top, it's their one of their top two,
Right.
because the ThreeShape is as deep into technology on the lab side as it is on the clinical side. And honestly, that's what drew me to ThreeShape was their heavy, you know, just how serious they were on the lab end. And
Right.
so their number one goal is to make it easy and open it up, allow everyone to basically play on the same field. And they've done a really good job with it.
Well, when it comes to sending scans to the lab, how well does Trios work with Matt Roberts and his lab?
So Matt and I have been working together for 20 years, and we talk about if not every day, almost every day. We do a lot of dentistry together, and he's in Idaho, and I'm in South Carolina, so it's not like we can walk next door and share cases.
Right.
So so ThreeShape has their Communicate app that everything is uploaded through. So when I finish a case, I'll mark my margins and review it, and I'll hit send. And within a couple of minutes, Matt has that scan in front of him, and so we can collaborate really easily. We can scan, and I can have the patient in the chair, and he can evaluate um, preps. We can evaluate things together. We can never do that
That's
before.
incredible.
We'll often, well, sort of like we're doing here with Zoom or one of the other platforms, we can screen share also, and he can even move my scanner software around, and I can do the same on his end when he's planning and designing cases. So it's just incredible how it's like we're basically in the same building.
So
But yeah,
automated.
so and the Communicate app also allows me. So there's a mobile Communicate app that you can have your phone, and I can check the progress of any case, and I can even see the case on my phone three-dimensionally. I can see
Wow.
where he is on the design process. I can see if the case is going to be on time or not. So yeah, it gets a little. You can see more than you want to see sometimes. You can spend way too
So if
much
you're on
time on the
vacation
phone.
or at the lake, you can check it on your
Right.
cell phone and
Right. Instead of
make sure your
Instagram.
patients are getting taken care of.
That's right. Instead of Instagram, we don't communicate. So
Oh, nice, nice. How long have you been working with Matt? It's
for
been
about
how many
20 years.
years?
About 20.
Wow,
Yeah. Yeah.
wow. That says a lot about what he does for sure.
Well, too, when I first was looking into a digital system, the first person I asked was Matt because he had been into the lab digital end a long time, and he had seen scans from almost every scanner. And he
Hmm.
immediately, when I said, "What scanner should I look at?" he immediately said, "ThreeShape." And so I knew then that we were working on the right platform because he could see all the other scans, and if that's what worked best for him, that was what I was going to try first.
Right. That's great. So, what's your patient feedback with the scanner and the Trios? Do they think it's pretty cool and they can see all this 3D imaging?
Yeah, I mean, everyone loves it. I mean, and the hard part is, I'm pretty passionate about it, as you probably can tell. So it's hard
Yeah.
not to get behind talking about the technology. But yeah, everyone, one, they love not having the physical impressions, but then you can show them and even make it educational for them, showing them other things that they see on the scans.
Hmm.
Um, take you can take photographs with the scanner also. So you can take a photograph of a tooth and it pops up on the screen. And like we were saying before, you can do a smile design with their face on the screen and they can help do it. They can actually,
Yeah.
I'll give them the mouth sometime and they can put the teeth in their smile. Of course, they're usually not the right teeth, but it allows them to see sort of what goes into designing a smile, and they can quickly see that it's very technical, and
Yeah.
it's not just picking teeth out of a drawer. It
Right.
is trying to find teeth that match their face. So it's very educational. I haven't had one person ever say, "Hey, can you use the old gooey stuff instead?"
Ugh,
Um,
I
so
hate
it's
that. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
I
I know.
gagged on that every single time. Horrible.
And and everyone, I think non-scanners will say, "Well, the scanner, you can't get that in some people's mouth." I have yet to find a patient that I can't scan, and I see a lot of patients. So, I'm sure there may be one or two out there, but those would
Mhm.
probably be the same ones you can't get an impression tray in.
Right.
So it's, scanning
It's
it
really
scanning
not an uncomfortable situation for the patient at all. I mean,
well, it's
it's
much
not.
quicker too. It's so much quicker. You can scan a full arch, I mean, if you're good, in less than a minute. And that's pretty quick. It's just like a camera because the technology is stitching multiple images together and it's true color also. So anything you can scan, you can document. And, I would scan every patient that walked in the office because that now is probably the best dental record you could ever have. So certainly you can document soft tissue and hard tissue.
Right. And go back in a year or 2 years and see how things have changed and all
Right.
that, right?
That's right.
So what advice would you give to other practitioners that were looking to implement this digital solution in their practice?
So we talk about this a lot, and I have practitioners that I talk to, every week, and I, they may be interested in milling or 3D printing. To me, you have to start with scanning. Scanning is the base for everything, and get comfortable with it because that's here to stay. Our mills, may change. Our 3D printing is certainly going to get better, but you're going to scan every day. So look into a scanner that fits your needs. If you're interested in all of the add-ons and all of the things that a scanner can become, look at 3Shape for sure. And like I said, don't let the dollar scare you. I, everyone was asking, is it going to be a return on the investment? And of course it is. Initially, I had to count how many impressions I was taking to say whether I would pay for my unit or not.
Mm-hmm.
But without a doubt, just all that you can do, you're going to get your money's worth out of it within the first year, without a doubt.
It took about a year for you, maybe a little bit less, or
I'd say less. I'd say even if you weren't using it every day, and that would be just if you're replacing impression material, but it's just everything else you can do. It's the case acceptance. It's,
right.
um, just all of the other things that you can do with the scanner that you never thought you would. That's not why you bought it, maybe, but you'll find that it easily pays for itself.
Right. And that's important, the ROI, when you're looking at all the equipment, right?
Yeah, it is.
Got to
Sure, it
have
is.
that.
Yeah.
Got to have that ROI. So what do you do for fun in South Carolina? I read that you like to get on the water with your family, and are you guys big water skiers or?
Yeah, we boat a lot, and my kids love to. So wake surfing is really big here.
Mm-hmm.
So having a boat that throws a big enough wake that you basically have a surfboard behind it. So
Uh-huh.
do a lot of that. And yeah, it's our climate's nice, kind of like you guys. We have a lot of heat, so anything outdoors we love to do.
Well, we don't have very many good lakes here.
Mm.
Our
Yeah,
water is not great, and when we do have lakes, the level of the water is down a lot. It's
oh, really?
not significant. So yeah, not like you guys have. You live
Yeah,
in a
we have
beautiful
Great Lakes.
area.
Yeah.
Really, really
Thank you.
beautiful.
Yeah, I love it here.
So thank you so much for joining us and talking to us about the ThreeShape Trios today, Dr. Shull. I certainly appreciate it. And I know our audience is going to get so much out of this.
Yeah.
If they have specific questions about the Trios setup, can they contact you at positivelypda.com?
They can, sure. That's feel free to email me at that address, and any question. And it doesn't have to be specifically about 3Shape. But like I said, I've used most scanners, 3D printing, milling, any of those. I'll certainly be glad to try to help with.
And then they can also reach 3Shape at 3shape.com, right? Now, we don't want everybody bombarding you with questions, but but I'm sure you'd be nice enough to accommodate them. We appreciate that.
I will, and I can easily point them in the right direction for things that I can't answer. But also remember that they're, like I said, their local, either Patterson or Henry Schein reps can help them. So it used to be where 3Shape was sort of unknown, but now, as a leader in the industry, the name, I think everyone knows who they are.
I think
now,
everyone knows them. When we were doing this
Yeah.
interview, I always do the research on, who I'm talking to and the product. I'm like, oh, I know, please, this is easy.
Yeah. Well,
We've known this
they're
product. We've known this
they're a
product for
smaller
years.
company. They started out as a smaller company, but wow, they've really changed what we do. So yeah, it's exciting to be, in this time. We're fortunate to be able to be talking about cool things like this.
I know. Well, I thank you so much for joining us today, and stay safe where you're at. And let's rock 2021, right?
Sounds good.
Got to
Thanks,
be
Lisa.
better than 2020.
We're gonna say it will be.
All right, take care. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you.
Thanks. So that's going to do it for another edition of DocTalk Dental. I'd like to thank Dr. Franklin Shull for joining us today, and I'd also like to thank our special sponsor, 3Shape. For more information on the Trios products, please visit 3shape.com. That's the number 3shape.com. As always, for everything implant, please go to implantpracticeus.com and subscribe for the latest information. To learn about our other publications, visit medmarkmedia.com. We will see you back here on the next edition of DocTalk Dental. Until then, take care, everyone.
Thanks for listening to DocTalk Dental. You can always stay up to date with our latest podcast by subscribing on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Learn more about us at MedMark Media, or connect directly with any of our publications at Orthodontic Practice US, at Endodontic Practice US, at Implant Practice US, and at Dental Sleep Practice. Until next time.